the final rounds of the MRO T3 Challenge. It's a pan-national program today because we're going to be taking action in from both Brands Hatch here and up at Silverstone. The action from Brands will comprise the amazing Thunderbikes, huge grid of these glorious machines around the full Grand Prix circuit here at Brands, and then action from the Yamaha Past Masters. They'll be enjoying themselves going for the Paul Hogan Trophy and the Danny Whaley Challenge Cup. But down here at Brands on the grid, we have Michael Smith on pole and Tyler Streaky Bacon alongside him. It's the Yamaha Past Masters. There we see Mark Hardy carrying that #1 plate, and 22 is Pat Heron, the outside of the front row. There, Jack Blake, the ex-Aprilia Super Team rider, as away they go. Jack Blake, yes, started the year as an Aprilia Super Team, still just 15, but got a chance, courtesy of Keith Roster, to have a go at the YPMs, and he's loving it. Superb performances in the last couple of events, but they stream through Paddock Hill Bend. Lovely after this, well, really rather soggy year of racing that we've had, to have some sunshine on the full Grand Prix circuit here at Brands at this time of year. There, in the middle of picture number 5 going through, in the all-yellow leathers, Banana Man himself, it is the Colonel, Nick Sanders. Good to see him back here at the end of the year. And there's Chris Faulkner, on 43, on one of only 2, I think, TDR 250s out there. But meanwhile, up front, 57, the blue plate there is Michael Smith in the lead. And there we see Nick Sanders just ahead of Paul Welch. And there, further back, Dan Howden on the number 72 machine, and Tyler Bacon under pressure from Pat Heron. Pat make a great start from the outside of the front row of the grid. And here they come, look at this. Well, they really are spread out as they come up down the Bradham Straight, across the start-finish line, and up into Paddock Hill Bend. Of course, carrying a lot more speed into Paddock, coming off the Grand Prix loop as they do. There we see Jack Blake just into Druids, and Keith Royster, number 27 there. Keith, who I reckon had his best racing season so far. Lots and lots of finishes in the top 3. Pat Heron just nipping up inside Tyler Bacon to take second place. And Mark Hardy in 4th there on the #1 machine. And Jamie Cooper at number 86 chasing hard as they run up the hill. 94 further back, that's Craig Jennings. It was Craig Mamo Jennings last year, but he's dropped the Mamo, slightly easier for commentary purposes. But there's Michael Smith. Pat Heron, though, up into 2nd. Tyler Bacon in 3rd. #1, Mark Hardy. Then it's Roy Parbury and Jack Blake, and that is, well, a good demonstration of the spread, certainly in age and experience that you get in YPMs. Roy Parbury, the father of Mark Parbury, is racing the EDI Asia 400s. And young Jack Blake, there he is, a 15-year-old, just grown a little too big for the Aprilia Super Teams, but he's loving his rides on the YPM. And then we see Roy and Jack coming up to complete another lap, chasing Mark Hardy. Mark, who's now wrapped up the YPM Championship for 2008, that's why he's carrying the #1. Here he comes towards us, the green meanie, and absolutely loving his #1 plate. He really has worked hard for it this year, and excellent, well-deserved success for him. But look at this, Roy Parbury and Jack Blake closing in, and behind that looks like Pete Fishwick leading the rest. There we see the Colonel. Stand by your beds. Yeah, he's just come back from the jungle, a long tour that's taken most of the year. There goes Michael Smith, followed by Pat Heron and Tyler Bacon. Tyler, of course, an ex-champion in YPMs. Streaky won it a couple of seasons ago. There. Now, look at this. Roy Parbury and, goodness me, Mark Hardy just, well, he's succumbed to Roy Parbury, and Jack Blake's all over his case as well. Fantastic performance from the 2 of them. Their little battle has taken them right up to the champion. We'll see whether they can both get by. Pat Heron crossing the line there, trading fastest laps with Michael Smith, but Michael just with that gap ahead. And there we see also the red and yellow striped slippery surface flag being held out at Paddock. I don't think that's necessarily for oil or any fluid dropped. It's most likely somebody just putting a couple of boots in the gravel and dragging a few stones back on. And there we see Keith Royster on number 27 getting up alongside John Parbury. John, another member of the Parbury family. I think he's a brother, actually, of Roy. And Ben Miles chasing hard there. And there's Streaky Bacon. Tyler running up through Surtees. Oh, and somebody parking on the grass there and yellow flags. It's Pat Heron. And that's not a mistake. It's the machinery that's cried enough. Poor old Pat. He was, as I say, setting those really, really quick laps in second place, chasing hard after Michael Smith. But that has come to naught. So Pat's charge is parked at Surtees. And there we see, oh, and Jack Webb just ahead now of new champion Mark Hardy. And there we see the Colonel chasing after the troops. He will be doing a kit inspection later, I've no doubt. So they better be spruced and standing to attention. There we see Roy Parbury in third place, followed by Jack Blake, then champion Mark Hardy. And there they are on to the Braddon Straight. And the last lap flag being held aloft by Air Chief Marshal Jeffers as Michael Smith moves up into Druids. Got himself a very handy lead indeed, and unless something drastic goes wrong, Tyler Bacon goes through in second. And Roy Parbury, look how he's got away from the battle behind, but Mark Hardy coming back at Jack Blake. Jack's still there in fifth place. Got around about 3/4 of a lap of the race left to see if he can nick fourth as Michael Smith runs through Surtees. Where's Streaky? There he is. Tyler Bacon in second, the long run up the hill. And Michael Smith still with the lead and the fastest lap of the race so far, and running up into Druids. There, 41, Chris Rankin being chased by Peter Wright and Paul Norris. That's Paul Norris on the other of the TDR 250s. But up the front, it is Michael Smith. Just gently easing there through Sheen Curve and down to the dished left-hander at Stirling's. Well, pole position, fastest lap, and now cruising to what looks like a very good win indeed. There's Pete Fishwick further back, negotiating Sheen. But nothing much he can do about the battle ahead of him between Mark Hardy and Jack Blake. And there, Michael Smith looking for the others, but there's the checker flag, the win to Michael Smith. And Jack Blake still working as he comes off clear ways. I don't think he's going to find a way through. So Tyler Bacon picks up second ahead of Roy Parbury. And Jack Blake, well, he's furious with himself, but he needn't be. Lovely race from him. And the winner of the Norfolk Line Yamaha Past Masters, Michael Smith. Second, Tyler Bacon. Third, Roy Parbury. Fourth, Mark Hardy. Fifth, Jack Blake. And sixth, Pete Fishwick. And there, Cal Hogan presenting the Paul Hogan Trophy to the winner, Michael Smith. And there, Chloe presenting the Danny Whalen Challenge Cup to Tyler Bacon in second place and leading TZR home. And third overall went to Roy Parbury. Very happy Roy. Congratulating the others.
Roy, third place, but a bit of a lonely ride for you in that one.
Yes, I mean, to start with, I had somebody to chase. I had Mark to chase. He's just been crowned the new champion in our class, so, you know, to beat him was good. I mean, I love the GP circuit here at Brands, and somehow, I mean, yesterday I looked at the times and I should have been about sixth, so I've actually done well to be third. And I think the secret was put new tyres on for today, which is what I did.
All right, well, it was a brilliant race to watch. Good to see the Yamaha Past Masters out there. Well done.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to my engine tuner, Stan Stevens, because I've had a completely reliable year. Fantastic.
Well, we've got to say thanks to Stan, otherwise you won't get engines next year.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I was pleased with that overall. Got off to a good start, and I was battling with Mike and Pat for a couple of laps. Once they got past me, I just couldn't stay with them on the straight. I felt I was quicker through the Grand Prix part of the circuit, but just not enough to make it count on the straight. So just trying to not outride myself and bring home the third place. And then, unfortunately for Pat, he broke down on about lap 4, I think it was. So just bring home second.
Mike, overall race winner, picking up that Paul Hogan Trophy as well. Very emphatic win.
Yeah, it was a good ride for me. I set consistent laps and managed to stay in the front. Shame for Pat as he broke down in the race, but yeah, just a big thanks to Jerry Pall and everyone and all my sponsors, and a big thanks to my dad for getting me here. Cheers.
Jack Blake, we're normally used to seeing you in the MRO Super Teams, but having a one-off ride on the Yamaha, how did that come about?
I don't know really. I know the past masters through the club and through my girlfriend Chloe, and then they offered me a ride, and then I rode it at Snet as well as the Aprilia, and then they offered me to ride it at Brands GP, and I said yeah, and then looks like I'll be on them next year.
What's it like riding a bike that was built before you were born?
Yeah, they've actually mentioned that a few times. Yeah, it's alright. It handles not as well as the Aprilia, but it's pretty much the same, just a bit faster.